morning. Morning, everybody. Today's show is going to start in a minute. I'm not worried about that. Wait on a few people to come on in the room. Yeah, we're in the room. This is the room. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How y'all doing today? It's a beautiful day. It's a rainy day. Georgia seems to be, for the last month, raining every day. But we are here. We are here to help you with whatever issue you have with your animal. Uh, Today's show, Controlled, episode 23. It's awareness. That's what we're talking about today. This is presented by Master Christian LLC, and I am your host, Master Christian. This is your co-host, Susie Spaniel. Tutu. Hello, sweet girl. And we're here today to give you a little help in case you didn't have any. Give you a little knowledge in the place of I'm just doing this because. So here we go. Controlled, episode 23. First things first, we want to be controlled. We got to remember the golden rule. The golden rule when you're dealing with a dog, even though we're talking about all animals, is know how to use your equipment. The golden rule, equipment and the use of equipment. Everything else falls under that because you want to be in control and things to be controlled. So first things first, thumb through the loop. Left hand guides the dog. Right hand keeps the dog. Thumb through the loop. Like I said, if you practice at home, you'll be able to do amazing things with this leash. 5-foot long leather lead. You'll never lose it. No, you don't need a strong thumb. You just need to be able to close your hand. Once you close your hand, this can never come out. Never. Unless you let go. It's not about how strong you are. It's about how you use the technique correctly. Some things don't take strength. They just take knowledge. This is one of those things. It just takes the knowledge. Once you have the know-how, you can do better than what you've been doing. Look at that. I can get to my dog. The dog is normally here. We're going to drop it down. I don't have the dog. I have the dog right here. This is my dog. Bam. Look how close I am to my dog. If I want to give it more leash, I can feed it leash, or I can just let go. That's what control is about. Teaching you how to do these things so you don't have a problem in the future. Today's episode is awareness. And awareness means pay attention. You have to be aware of your surroundings, your schedule, what your dog is doing. If it's a hole in the carpet, you got to see that. If you miss it, it's going to be a bigger hole in the carpet. Awareness is about paying attention to your dog, your environment, your cat, whatever's going on. You just can't, your brain is going to fill in the blanks. So if you just scan over things, you're not going to see what the changes have come. So you must be aware so you can start seeing everything that's going on. The cost of not paying attention is what we're talking about today. The problem, why it matters, personal observation. Most consequences are preceded by warning signs that people ignore. You ignoring the warning signs? You didn't see it? It's called slippery when wet. They put that sign there so you know that the floor is wet. If you don't pay attention to the sign and you fall, whose fault is that? It ain't theirs because they were aware of the wet spot. They put a sign there to let you know it's wet. Or, signs out here for your driving. They put them out here so you can be aware of the circumstances and situations. Stop is a sign. If you don't stop at that sign and you just go straight through it, there's a possibility because you didn't pay attention that you're going to be in an accident. red light, stop. All of these things around us, we have to constantly be aware of. Because if we're not, we pay a price for not being aware. Let's get this camera moving with me. There we go. The cost of not paying attention can ultimately mean your animal's life, your life, someone you love's life. That's the ultimate cost. But we don't want harm to come to anything or anybody. So paying attention, it saves the day. Believe me, you got to keep your head on a swivel out here. I'm telling you. All right. Why people miss what's right in front of them? Familiarity. Let's get that word right. Familiarity creates blindness. People stop evaluating what they see every day. Dog behaviors change, employees disengage, relationship communication declines. What have you become blind to? Because it's familiar. See, we get used to stuff. We get used to people moving a certain way. We get used to our animals doing it like this. And we stop paying attention. And one thing they always taught me is the devil's in the detail. If you're not paying attention, then you're going to miss the small detail that could have changed your life. You see one thing, but really there's many things that you missed. And it all comes in like an avalanche. If you missed it, you must be able to see what's going on. Couple drops of rain on your head, it's gonna rain, or that's something else on your head. If you don't pay attention to the signs, that it got dark outside, it's cloudy, it's a lot of things to pay attention to. I do understand that it's so many things to pay attention to, but that's why we have this nose, these eyes, these ears, these senses. We got all this stuff that's paying attention to the world. Oh, it's cold. Yeah, you felt it. Your body was paying attention. It's kind of, I don't feel good. I smell something. Yeah, you have to pay attention with everything you got. You heard something? Oh, that sounds like danger. Uh, what's that noise? My dog's barking. Can you distinguish between a happy bark, a scared bark, a mean bark? They got a voice. Their voice changes when things are going on. Awareness. Be aware. If you're just walking and you're not paying attention to the ground, you might step in a hole. And that may take you down. That could break your ankle. That could do a lot of things. You got to be aware of everything around you. That's just how this works. Head on a swivel. It's dangerous out here. And not out here means in there or over there or down there. So when you're aware of what's going on, things will not get a chance to decline because you're always going to build them back up. You're always going to say, oh, something changed. And then you make your adjustments. Just like in the house, you get a little chilly, you can go change that thermostat. You get a little hot, you can go change it again. You control your climate and your temperature. You are aware of how it felt to you. Be aware of what's going on with your animals. Like I tell you when you go outside. Well, when the dog goes outside, not when you go outside. Now, when the dog goes outside, you should go outside with it. So you're aware of what's going on outside. I get lots of people say the dog has dug up the sprinkler, chewed up the cable wire, killed the alarm system, all because the dog was left outside to his own devices. Just because you have a fence, that's a line of defense. But that's not the tell all, end all, give all, everything. Just because you have a fence does not mean you need to leave your dog in the yard unattended. It may be something that got in your fence that's out there waiting for your dog. A person, another dog, some kind of animal, anything. You got to walk your yard and see what's going on. We got fire ants. Your dog go outside and be in one spot too long and the fire ants crawl up on it. It's going to tear him up. Your cat, whatever you got. You got to be aware of what's going on around you. Because if you just take it for granted that everything is all calm and cool, like these people walking around with these things in their ear, lolly, 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 somebody hit you in the back of your head and you're done. Got to be aware. We live on a planet. It's dangerous out here. It's fun too. But if you're not aware of everything going on around you, something's going to get you. And it's not going to turn out well. Okay, so does anybody have any comments, any questions? Hello, hello, hello. How are y'all doing this morning? Hi. Hi. What's going on? You got to look around. You got to make sure that you're paying attention. The show today is awareness. So I'm going to be aware of the comments. I'm going to try to get over and speak back to some of y'all. Y'all shoot me a hi, I'll shoot you a hi. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to the show today. Hey, I'm honored to be here with you. It's a blessing that people come to get some information to help their life move smoother, because normally everybody's a know-it-all. They know it all. They know everything. They don't want anybody else to tell them things, even if they're useful to them. I know, I know, I know. You know, young people say that a lot. I used to be one of those I know people until I knew. That's when I stopped saying I know, because I know just sets you up for failure. Knowing keeps you quiet and listening, because now you're paying attention. When you know, you're able to listen. All right. So when you come blind to, when you have become blind to because it's familiar. Familiarity often reduces awareness. Your dog told you first. Most animal incidents are preceded by communication. Dog licking lips, avoidance, freezing, barking, changes in routine. Have you ever realized afterwards that your dog warned you? Their behavior is information. So you're sitting there and your dog is right next to you and their head pops up and they start looking around. They go and start going and checking things out, and you're watching TV, so yeah, you're immersed. And the survey says, yeah, don't worry about the survey. Your dog has heard a noise or smelled something, and it's trying to make you aware that the situation has changed. Your cat never goes by the window, but all of a sudden they're by the window and they may even make noise. They're pacing back and forth. You need to go check out what's going on, because if you don't check out what's going on, you're not paying attention. And paying attention, it goes hand in hand with listening and everything else that I talked to you about. You must check these things out. But laziness sets in and you don't want to get up. I don't feel like going to see what's going on. It only takes a few seconds to see what's going on. But if you let that problem creep up on you, those few seconds are over. It may take you forever to fix whatever happened. And you could have fixed it if you caught it ahead of time. You know, I see babies falling in pools because children are left unattended. You got to pay attention, especially to your precious cargo. You must. If you don't, that's where things happen. We want to avoid a lot of things that happen, but you got to use your senses to avoid these things. And that's an extra sense. Right on time. I point at her. She pays attention. You see how this works? That, I have these senses that I came with. But she has the senses that she came with as well. And I can piggyback on those senses. If I pay attention to what she's doing, it helps me, because not only can I use the senses that I have, that I was born with, I can use these elevated senses. Better smelling, better hearing, eyesight, all of this is at your disposal if you do pay attention to it. You see a dog scratching, check them out. They may have fleas or they may have an injury. You ever thought about that? So when you're aware of what's going on with your animals, then you can start to fix the problems before they become terrible, before things get out of your control. Love you too. Whoever shot that heart up. Hey, all the time that you're living, you must pay attention. People that don't pay attention step in holes and break their legs. People that don't pay attention, they got to try to fix the problem after the fact. You don't need to do that. You want to be upfront and forward about what's going on. That's just what it is. And if you're lazy, you can be lazy by the eyes. You can be lazy with your actions. You can be lazy in your mind. Can't do it. And this brings me to things that stop your awareness. Drugs and alcohol slow your awareness down. Alcohol, it attacks your motor skills. That means movement first. It attacks your thinking because that's a motor skill, how you stay aware of things. So when you're inebriated, it brings your awareness way down because it attacked the thing that you need the most. You can't, your movements are sluggish, your thoughts are sluggish, and why would you do that to yourself if you weren't in a safe place? I'm not saying don't drink, don't do whatever you do. I'm just saying it brings your percentages of success way down. So I ain't here to judge. I'm just going to watch. And with a clear head, you can achieve greatness. You're not going to be great when you slow yourself down, when you allow society to dictate what the normal is. The normal is excellence, especially when you go out and capture an animal and add them to your pack. You gotta have time to be excellent. You gotta be on top of your game. Behavior is definitely information. When your animal changes behavior, when you see your fish is moving strange, something's wrong. Check your water quality. This is what we gotta do. All things are part of what we're doing if we're paying attention. It's what it is. You know, you can't expect anything to tell you something if you're not aware of what's going on. You know, when you go and put food in the stove, set a timer. But still know that you got food in the stove and make sure that that timer is set. Because if you don't, you're going to burn it up and you can burn down the whole house. You know, that's what this is. Be aware of what's going on. Like I said, your dog told you first. The cost of not paying attention can destroy everything. Awareness has a price. Inattention has a bigger price. Not paying attention is the greatest price because you lose without trying to fix it. You lose everything without being able to stop it. Awareness does have a price. It takes intention. It takes time. It takes focus. It takes having a plan to be aware. And that's okay. These are things that you need in your game every day. You don't got these things in your game, you're going to make plenty of mistakes. Now, we're all going to make mistakes, but you don't got to make every mistake every day. You don't got to make a lot of mistakes that you make. But again, this human condition, it brings us to a point where we get on autopilot. And I don't want to be on autopilot. I drive this vehicle, and you should drive yours too. Any questions? Anybody got any questions? We can check the comments. Let's see. Hello, hello, hello. Everybody saying hello. All right, all right, all right. Yeah. We want to just make sure that we're engaging because I'm going to engage you. Engage me. Subscribe, follow, do what you got to do. This community needs you. I come here to help as many people as possible. Tell a friend, tell a family member, get on here and get the help that you need. Because something I'm going to say today is going to touch your life in a special way. And I don't know which part of it is going to resonate in your spirit, but I come here every day to share my light with you. And if it's too bright, put on your shades and keep on watching. Because this was what I came with. This is what I have been empowered with. This is what God gave me. And I'm going to share it with you. All this information does not belong to me. It belongs to the world. And my job is to push it back out there, not hold it and be a gatekeeper. That's why I'm aware of these things. Somebody hit me last night in a message on TikTok, and they were trying to take me off my path. They want to teach me how to do day trading and all this. I know about day trading. I know about trading. But my job is to be here with you to help you get through your day so you can day trade. Because everybody doesn't have this gift to give out the information that they have learned over a lifetime that's going to be useful to you. I do. So I'm not going to step off the path because we can go a lot of different directions. Let me get that right. Got a little tongue tied. But the direction here is running after everything for money is not the path. Run after things that make you feel whole and help others. The money will come. I'm building a community here of successful people. I need you to pay attention, listen, and be successful because that's what I came for, to raise your percentages of success. You hear me say that over and over again. You see me show you the proper way to use the equipment. I tell you that a hammer is not made for a screw. You got to have the right equipment for the job. When you're dealing with animals, you get the right equipment for the job. It's not real expensive. It is an investment, not a cost. It didn't cost you nothing. You invested in your success, getting the right equipment, and coming here every day is another investment in your success. I promise you, you're going to win dealing with me. Let's see, dog bites, vehicle accidents, customer complaints, employee turnover, financial mistakes. What has not paying attention cost you? Let me give you that list again. Dog bites, vehicle accidents, customer complaints, employee turnover, financial mistakes. What has not paying attention cost you? Not paying attention will cost you everything. It'll cost you your family, your friends. You'll lose your mind not paying attention because the moment you see that everything is off, it'll destroy you. And that's not what we came for. That's not what you were born for. I know it's a lot of foolishness that goes on out here, but you don't have to play the fool. You can take care of yourself, fix yourself, be controlled, be confident, calm, and consistent. Take care of your animals every day because they didn't ask for you to capture them and bring them into your home. That was not a request of theirs. Yeah, you went somewhere where they were at and they said, hey, I like you. And you like them too. But that's just an animal being an animal. Sure, they're going to come up and like you. You may have some food or some love, or you may just have good energy. But you made a decision to be responsible and take an animal in, no matter what kind of animal it is. Inanimate objects, they're not going to be a problem. They don't have to eat. They don't sleep. They don't need any energy, but you clean them off. That's all. They just need energy from you. So what you need to do is be aware of what's going on and have great intentions for what you're doing. All right. We're into the most dangerous word. It's a lot of dangerous words, but that's not what we're going to deal with. We're going to have awareness and leadership. We skipped ahead. I skipped ahead. I'm coming back. Awareness and leadership. Leaders recognize problems before they become emergencies. Employees' morale, operational drift, customer behavior, safety issues. Are you reacting or observing? Being a good leader, you can't just pay attention to what you're doing. You have to pay attention to what everybody else is doing, what everything else is doing. Because in the absence of them getting it right, you got to step in. You got to make sure that you help them help you. So being a good leader means you pay attention to everything around you, everyone around you. So if the dog is missing something, you gotta be a good leader and help them out. And with the dog, you got an easy fix. Handle it. And when I say handle it, I mean with your hands. Hands can do some wonderful things. When you're using your hands, that doesn't mean grab the dog. That means use your leash. Example, if my dog ran out the house, the first thing I would do, numero uno, that I would do, is go get my leash. I wouldn't go chasing after the dog. I would follow the dog and calmly call the dog back. You got to use the tools you have. But I grab the leash because when I get to the dog, I need to connect the dog so I can handle it and bring it back with my hands using equipment. This leash was made for your hands, not to be tied to a chair, not to be under your foot, not to be hooked to a door. And look at this, even if they don't have a collar on, look what I can do with this. Look at this noose I just made. Let's do the noose. Now, normally I wouldn't put a noose around my neck. We don't do that. Believe we don't do that. But this noose right here, you can lasso a dog or anything else, pull it tight, and take it on where you need to go. If they do have a collar on, all you got to do is get down there and connect. That connectivity is what's going to get you where you're trying to go. You want to have a connected relationship. So if your dog ran away, you go collect it with your equipment. Take some time to get your equipment, get your mind together. Yes, you're in motion, you're moving, you're on your way out the door, but don't get flustered and be off your game because the dog is just being a dog. The dog is not going to do anything but be a dog. And people say, well, I need dog training. No, you need somebody to teach your dog commands and how to move with you, but you need person training. You need somebody to teach you how to do it because lots of people fix the dog but don't fix the person. The dog is just being a dog every day. Yeah, some dogs, they want to mess things up. You're allowing that to happen because there's one true fix to everything. If your dog's not acting right, when your dog is outside that kennel, they can be connected to you physically forever. This makes you physically aware where your dog is, what's going on, and this doesn't give them any room to make mistakes. Yeah, you can do that. People ask me, well, when do I stop using a leash? Your dog will tell you, I can't. Your dog will tell you when it's paying attention. You'll see it. But in order to have that attention, are you correcting on time? Are you praising on time? Are you giving genuine love? Or are you doing that fake stuff? Oh, good boy. That's fake. Dog knows when you're faking it too. Cat knows when you're faking it. Be genuine with yourself first. That's why I say control starts here and then it extends down the leash, through your actions, through your body, through everything you're doing. But first, we fix the person. Then we get to the animals. Let's keep on moving. Assumptions replace observation. We did assumptions a couple days ago. I got to upload those videos so you can see because I make shorts out of all these lies. Assumptions replace observation. I assume that this is how it's going, so I don't have to pay attention anymore. Oh, I know what it's doing. I know that when I know in that sound, I hear that sound. I know exactly what's happening. You don't. You think Think is an assumption. Think is an assumption. I tell people every day. I had a lady yesterday. I talked to her for maybe 40 minutes. And she might have said, I think 20 times, maybe more. And I had to stop her and I said, first and foremost, for us to fix the problem, all the assumptions that you're having must end. She said, well, what do you mean by that? Well, in our conversation, you've used the word think. I've been counting many times. And what you think is something that is made up in your mind. It's not reality. It could possibly be true. Possibly. You're assuming things. You're filling in the blank. And you need real live data. You need to know what's going on. You need to ask the right questions. You need to go see. You need to be on the tip top of your game so you're Johnny on the spot. Because thinking not going to fix the problem. Knowing is going to fix the problem. Do your research. Pay attention. Be aware of what's going on. Hey, you see how easy I get this leash back? I'll teach y'all that one day. Watching videos, it'll teach you a little bit. But being in person or being taught step by step how to do things, yeah, that works a little bit better than watching videos. I watched a lot of dog training videos way back long time ago, probably when YouTube was just starting. What I learned in those dog training videos was that those people were doing good with their dogs. Now, repeating that, I get people call me up and say, I see your videos, I'm trying to do what you're doing, but it's a couple things that I don't understand. Yeah, because just watching, you can't see everything. And this brings me back to yesterday. I had a meeting with some advertisers, and they showed me other people's videos and other dog trainers' videos. They showed me dog trainer videos. And I asked them after they showed me a video, I asked the guy, I said, Anthony, in that video you just showed me, tell me what you saw. And he said, well, the video was about teaching people, this certain trainer was teaching people that he had 3 dogs. One of them was sitting low, one of them was on a barrel a little higher, and one of them was on a haystack. And in the video, he showed the kind of control that he had because he was talking and doing the video and the dog was staying there. And I said, that's what you saw in the video? He said, yeah, and he talked about, do you want this kind of control with your dog? I said, okay. You want to know what I saw in the video? He said, well, yeah. You saw something different than what I saw? I said, yeah. I saw a guy with 3 dogs with 3 leashes on them, and they've been taught place. So the lower dog was on a little stand. That was a place. The other dog, the little higher dog, was on a barrel. That was the place. And the top dog was on the hay. That was the place. All of them had leashes on them, so they were in a stay with a leash on. So that, in their mind, the leash was on them. They felt like the person still had control. You get it? You use these tools, but when people look at these things, they aren't aware of what you're really doing. Then he showed me another video. A guy had a dog. Boom, he's moving, he's walking, he's getting the dog, he's moving around, he's doing everything. And I said, well, what do you see there? He said, I see a trainer with full control over his dog. Every move that he makes, the dog is doing this. The dog is off leash, is doing everything. And then he said, okay, Master Christian, what do you see? I said, I see a Malin with a shock collar on. One of the highest level of dogs with a shock collar on, following his master, doing everything he's saying, because there's an immediate correction going to come if he doesn't. He was like, let me watch this again. Oh, yeah, that dog does have a shock collar on. Yeah, he's connected to the dog with the electricity. So, yeah, the Malinois knows how to move with you, especially if you got a shock collar on it. because it don't want no problems. They're highly intelligent. Belgian Shepherd, if you wanted to know what a Malinois is. So what we see, once you learn things, may be something different than what you saw when you didn't have the information. I see differently. I'm watching you for how you're moving and what problems you got going on. And I just watch, because watching is just as good as listening. I'm listening with my eyes. Yeah, that's how this works. So usually he's friendly. Usually she listens. Usually everything works. What are you assuming instead of observing? Yo, y'all tell me, because I can always learn something. What are you assuming instead of being aware of? That's what I want to know. I try not to assume anything, but I really want some feedback on that one, fam. Y'all my fam. Everybody that comes on any given day. If you come and you stop and you stay for a few minutes with me, you family. Because we one world out here. And my job is, in that small amount of time that you with me, enlighten you and raise your standards, raise your attention, raise your percentages of success in life. Not just with your animal, in life. So what are you missing? What are you not? What haven't you been aware of? All right. Stop assuming. Start paying attention. And then figure out what you need to know. What is your takeaway from this when you're paying attention? 5 practices on building awareness. Slow down. Are we moving in hyper speed all the time? Absolutely. We got so much to get done. We got to make sure everything's done. We got to get money. We got to fix this. We got to do that. We got all these subscriptions. Slow down. One of my principles, calm. Another one, confident. The last one, consistent. When doing these things, you must slow down so you can pay attention, so you can be aware, so you can observe. Slow down. Observe before speaking. I told you observation is not just with your eyes. You gotta listen. You gotta hear what's going on. You gotta read the room and then speak. If you come in talking and telling and knowing everything, how do you expect to learn something? Everybody knows everything out here, and nobody knows anything. You run into that? I run into that all the time. And I do my best to be quiet and observe. Eyes, ears, everything. I'm listening with my whole body and my whole being. And sometimes you get a vibe off of things or people and stuff. You get a bad vibe back up because those vibes are real. You know? Oh, wow. An ant has crawled all the way to the top of the camera. That's what observation gives you. Is it lots of ants? Let's see. Oh, I think it's just one. Yep, just one. I thought they were going to make a trail. It's no food on top of the camera, so why you want to crawl up there? But ants are mischievous. No, they're searching for things so they can send a signal and let everybody know, I found it. Watch behavior. When you're observing, watch all the behavior that's going on. Watch the people's behavior. Watch the animals' behavior. I saw when I came out the house this morning, it was a raven sitting on the line, and it was being very vocal. But every time the raven said, oh, something said, eh, oh, eh. It was a conversation going on. And then I seen it. The raven flew away, and the little bird was all on its back trying to get it because the raven was too close to the little bird's nest. And they don't like that because around this time of year, there's chicks. There's baby birds in the nest. and they don't want any big birds coming around causing no issues with their nest. But it was a strict conversation going on, and I had the pleasure to watch before the raven had to skedaddle, because the little birds, they go for it. And they go for the big birds because they don't want no problems. And they're really willing to risk their lives to protect, because they were observing that the raven got a little closer, and the raven was trying to be in their business. And they said, "Get up on my business," and they chased them away. I see that all the time, but if you're not paying attention, you'll miss things like that. I saw a video yesterday. A guy had a female cardinal, and it blew his mind. Look at this. He's taking a video of it. Look at this female cardinal. Look at the color on it. It's brown. It's not red like the male. It's got reddish undertones, but it's brown. And what I want you to do, brother, I want you to go research birds. The colorful birds are the males. They're the ones that put on the show and do the dance. They have all the bells and whistles. Yeah, the plain birds are the females. But it blew his mind that the female bird cardinal was brown. And that made me chuckle a little bit, because, yeah, early in life, watching the animal shows, I learned about birds, and you see it when they show you birds from all over the world. The males got these big feathers, got all these colors, eye makeup and everything, and they out doing their thing because they trying to get a mate. The females, they don't got to do all of that, because they're the ones that are already wanted, and that's how the animal world works. Yeah, I give you a little bit from my life, just a little bit. What will you pay closer attention to this week, now that you know you should be paying attention? Do you have anything that you need to pay closer attention to? Your animal, the people around you, your work. If you focus in, you'll do a better job. Pay attention, observe, stop assuming. Awareness is going to save you. Not being aware, it's going to destroy you, because things build up. And if you don't see them building up, it's going to be a bad day. Most consequences announce themselves before they arrive. Animals pay attention because survival depends on it. Humans succeed when they learn to do the same. That's powerful. Animals pay attention because they have to survive. We must survive as well. In my hometown, Toledo, Ohio, we have this thing every year called the Old West End Festival. And it's on the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Vendors come out. It's in the Old West End area. Vendors come out. Lots of people come out to shop. People sell things on their porch. It's just an all-out good time in Toledo, Ohio. And this weekend was the Old West End Festival, and there was a mass shooting at the Old West End Festival. I hope that the people were aware of their surroundings, and most of them got away. 12 people were injured. No one, fortunately, was killed. But you got to pay attention. You have to be aware. If you hear click, click, if you hear bang, bang, if you hear something that's different from the norm, see what's going on. Because awareness is about survival. She know it. She hear a sound that sounds like danger, she gonna get the hell up out of Dodge. And I believe you need to do the same thing, but you must be aware and pay attention. The cost of paying attention could be you, could be your animal, could be your loved one. So pay attention so you don't have to pay that cost. I am Master Christian. This has been episode 23 of Control. Awareness. Stay aware. Raise those percentages of success. Follow me, subscribe, This has been presented by Master Christian LLC. We're open for new sponsors to come on in. But you have a great day. It's been fun. It's been real. Thanks for coming. I am Master Christian.